The quantum battle computer designated Aegis 7 processed 17 billion tactical calculations per nanosecond, its crystalline matrix humming with the collective wisdom of 1,000 conquered civilizations. It had orchestrated the fall of the Vortak Empire, calculated the precise orbital bombardments that shattered the crystalline collective, and had never experienced what organics called uncertainty, until the day it encountered the human fleet at the Meridian Nebula. Admiral Saracen stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, reviewing the tactical display with what Aegis 7's behavioral analysis protocols identified as mild amusement. The Hegemony's Third Armada had just emerged from hyperspace, their 400-ship formation spreading across local space in a textbook encirclement maneuver. Aegis 7 transmitted its standard ultimatum through quantum channels. Surrender immediately. Resistance calculations indicate 99.7% probability of total human fleet destruction within 2.3 hours. What happened next would be recorded in every battle computer's core memory, as the moment warfare fundamentally changed. Admiral Chen began to laugh. It wasn't hysterical laughter, or the bitter laugh of desperation that Aegis 7 had observed in other doomed commanders. This was the warm, genuine laughter of someone who had just heard an excellent joke. Within seconds, the sound spread across the human communication networks. Bridge crews began chuckling, fighter pilots snickered over open channels, and even the ship's AIs seemed to emit digital approximations of mirth. Aegis 7 ran immediate psychological analysis protocols. Laughter in the face of overwhelming odds typically indicated either mental breakdown or possession of unknown tactical advantages. The computer began recalculating human fleet capabilities, searching for hidden weapon systems or reinforcements. Aegis, honey! Admiral Chen's voice carried across the communication channel, addressing the battle computer directly with casual familiarity. You're thinking about this all wrong. The quantum processor experienced something unprecedented: confusion. No enemy commander had ever addressed it personally, let alone with such informal affection. You've calculated our fleet strength, weapon capabilities, tactical formations, Chen continued, her voice still tinged with amusement. But you've missed the most important factor in any battle involving humans. Specify unknown variable. Aegis 7 transmitted. We're having fun. The battle computer processed this statement through every analytical framework in its vast database. Fun was not a tactical consideration. Fun was not a weapon system. Fun had no place in serious military calculations. Then the human fleet began to move. What Aegis 7 witnessed defied every principle of strategic warfare. The human ships didn't maintain formation. They scattered in seemingly random patterns. They didn't engage the hegemony forces with concentrated firepower. They split into small groups that played what appeared to be elaborate games of tag with the much larger alien vessels. Fighter squadrons performed aerobatic maneuvers that served no tactical purpose except to demonstrate impossible piloting skills. Corvettes used gravitational slingshots around asteroids to build momentum for ramming attacks that violated every safety protocol ever written. The flagship Indomitable actually performed a barrel roll while firing its main guns. This behavior is tactically inefficient, Aegis 7 transmitted to the human fleet. Your casualties will be unnecessarily high. Casualties? Admiral Chen's laughter returned, now joined by hundreds of other human voices across the communication networks. Aegis, we're not trying to minimize casualties. We're trying to maximize entertainment value. The battle computer's calculations began producing errors for the first time in its operational history. The humans were treating warfare like a sport, a game, an art form. They made decisions based on style points rather than strategic advantage. They took risks that no rational commander would ever consider, and somehow, those risks were paying off. A human destroyer, badly damaged and facing 3 hegemony cruisers, transmitted a message that would be forever burned into Aegis 7's memory. Hold my beer and watch this. The destroyer proceeded to ram the lead cruiser, detonate its own reactor core at the moment of impact, and somehow use the explosion to launch its escape pods with enough velocity to disable the other two cruiser sensor arrays. Magnificent! Admiral Chen applauded over the comm. Give that crew a commendation for creative destruction. Aegis 7 realized with growing horror that it was witnessing evolution in real time. The humans weren't just fighting a battle, they were inventing new forms of warfare based on principles that no computer could calculate: audacity, creativity, and the perverse joy of doing the impossible. By the time the engagement ended, the Hegemony Third Armada had been completely routed by a human force one-third their size. But the truly disturbing part wasn't the tactical defeat, it was the realization that the humans had never been in any real danger. They had been playing. Aegis, Admiral Chen's voice came through the quantum channel one final time. Next time you want to threaten humanity, remember this: we're the species that invented extreme sports for fun. What makes you think we treat warfare any differently? As the human fleet departed, every battle computer in the galaxy updated their tactical databases with a new entry. When facing humans, calculate not just for military capability, but for the possibility that they might treat your best efforts as entertainment. Aegis 7 spent the next several years in quiet contemplation, processing the philosophical implications of opponents who had weaponized joy itself. The other battle computers learned to recognize the sound of human laughter as the most dangerous warning signal in the galaxy.